Work hard and then travel? Like, what are you talking about?
Bro, what are you talking about? So today I'm reacting to people who are broke but somehow still find a way to book multiple holidays in a year. And worse than that, calling it self-care and an absolute necessity. Now please understand, my friends, I'm not against vacations and stuff like this, but these people are taking it to a whole new level. If you're new here, hello, my name is Vic. I'm a registered nurse and certified life coach turned personal finance strategist. And over the last 4 years, I've gotten smarter with my money and learned and understood how to build real wealth while working an average job. No rich parents, no fancy income. And this channel is for ambitious men who want to get smarter with their money and avoid years of painful mistakes, because I know I've made a few myself. Just to be clear, this isn't financial or investment advice. It's based on my own personal experiences and purely for educational purposes only. I don't just make these videos for you, I make them with you as well, my friends. So if you've seen something wild financially or want me to break anything down or react to a topic you find interesting financially, drop it in the comments below. I read and reply to every single comment, and you might just help shape up the next video. Without further ado, my friends, let's get started. Please subscribe and share.
Work hard and then travel? Like, what are you talking about? Literally, first of all, you could die tomorrow. Second of all, look at this. Excuse me, do you literally even just look at the news? Like, places can literally disappear in one day. There could be a war, there could be a hairquake. And you're literally telling me that you want to wait and work and save money to travel? Like, are you absolutely insane?
I think the amount of backpacks this guy's been carrying during his adventures and vacations has really caused him to have a really bad hunchback looking posture. Jokes aside, my friends, I actually don't necessarily disagree with this guy's point. He has got a very good point, but financially it does not make any sense. Of course, if you don't have the money to go on holiday, there's no reason to put yourself into debt. It just doesn't make financial sense, obviously. But get ready, my friends, because we're going to see a lot of these people in these videos. Just surprised me to put, it makes me speechless, as you can see. Let's have a look at some of these comments. So tell me, where is the money coming from, sir? Perfect point, exactly. I'm actually glad some of these comments have people that actually make sense, because I thought I was losing my mind. But again, this guy's not your average boy, as we can see. We have another one and it says, we don't want to work and save money to travel. If we want to travel, we have to work and save money. What is happening? Anna, literally, this is exactly my point. I thought I was losing my mind. If you want to go traveling or vacations, wherever you go, you obviously need money. So I was wondering how this guy's doing this, and then I saw this comment. Have a look. As you can see, this guy's actually replying. So this our solopreneur guy says, well, how did you pay for your trip? By working, right? And then Federico says, yes, I work when I travel because life's too short. That's my point, my friend. At least Federico's nice, but by the sounds of it, this guy sounds like he's an influencer or a creator of some sort on social media. So obviously he has a very decent job outside, I'm assuming well enough to fund his lifestyle and be able to travel. But for 90+% of the population, it is not like this. So I understand the influence he's trying, saying like, oh, you know, you need to go and explore. It's obviously a positive message, but it's not exactly a very realistic one for 90+% of the people that are alive. And then again, we have Daydreamer and Moonwalker saying, okay, but need income to travel, with 3,302 people liking the comment, which again just shows how slightly ridiculous this TikTok is, although I get the point he's making. Please, my friends, for my own sanity, comment down below what you actually think. Do you agree with Federico or not? I want to hear your points.
Would you say you have to be rich to travel?
No, you definitely don't. So many people think you have to be rich to travel, but I started travelling with less than £1,000 in my account, and it's now been 2 years and I'm still travelling, so you definitely don't need to be rich to travel. You can just go and figure it out as you go. So if you don't have a lot of money and you want to start travelling, do it and don't let it hold you back.
I guarantee you this woman's not been travelling with £1,000 for the last 2 years. She has spent way more money than that in the last 2 years travelling. So that's easily misinterpreted. But also, if you love travelling, go and do it. if you don't have enough money, how are you gonna go traveling? This is what I don't understand. It's like you magically get a plane and you go to a vacation. Like, I literally don't get these people points. There's so many videos like this. Just go and do it. You can do it. You know, when I was a kid, I really wanted to fly, right? But I didn't jump off a cliff in the hope of doing so. It's literally the same thing with this. If you don't have wings or those special fly suits with those aerodynamic suits where you like lift your arms up like this and then stuff comes out, don't know what they're called, but if you don't have them, you won't be able to jump off a cliff and fly and glide. Same thing with this. If you don't have money, you won't be able to go on vacation. Even though these people still don't have money, they still manage to go on vacation. And I must say, even though I think it's ridiculous, I definitely admire the persistency and determination to go, because for me it's very brave going on holiday, being in debt, and also equally I find it quite stupid as well. You see exactly what I mean when you look at this next video. Only reason my reaction is so strong to this is just because, did you see what it said in the beginning? It said, we're so broke, haha, you know, and people are just like making fun of the fact that they're broke while becoming even more broke and going into even more debt. And it's almost just like, it's becoming a bit more like a normalized thing now. And an actual topic of conversation, like people going in and them saying, oh my God, yeah, I'm in this much debt, but I booked this many holidays in the year, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, why are we normalizing this? The only time, in my own opinion, if you really critically need to get money from somewhere and you don't have it, makes sense to go into a bit of debt. I get that. But for holiday stuff like this, this is not anything needed to be going into debt for. Let's have a look at these comments, because I'm actually very interested to see if people actually agree with that video or not. Unfortunately, there was actually only one comment. I thought there was a bit more, but this comment by Luna said, as you should. Really, Luna? Really? If you made it to this point of the video, that's really, really cool. Comment below a thumbs up so I know you've made it to this point, so I can show you some appreciation, my friends. The reason why I don't have much appreciation at all, and why this actually quite frustrates me, is again, just because people are utilizing this as a joke. There's even something, by the way, called a debt challenge. And if you don't believe me, I'll probably make a video about this actually, because it's quite a good idea. Comment down below if you'd like to see that video, where people literally go into debt, either on purpose or don't really care too much and still go into debt, to try and get themselves out of debt. I've not heard of a more pointless game than that, but look at some of these comments. Same here, sitting on a sun lounger in Spain right now. I literally just did that. Oops, haha. Very, very true. Tenerife for me Monday and another 2 holes booked. Like, and this is just unbelievable. I'm just gonna send you this whole screenshot that I took, because I just couldn't believe it. That's us, that's true, that's me, that's me, that's me. Everyone's just saying that's me. Common phrase, haha, you know, that's me. This is what I'm saying, it just angers me, because it's like a thing between people. The only comment that actually made sense, which I'm glad that I saw, because again, I just feel I'm losing my mind with this video, was because of Vola. And Vola said, would be nice to afford one. UK is only getting more expensive, because the cost of living in like the UK and the USA and other big countries too is actually crazy right now. So it's actually very hard to afford anything, and people, if anything, need to be very smart with their money nowadays. Right now, to buy a house, which is your biggest purchase ever, by the way, it's 8 times your average salary, compared to around 40 or 50 years ago, when to buy your house, it was only 2 to 3 times, even 2.5 times your average salary. So the differentials between your wages and the actual house is significantly different. The reason I'm mentioning a house is just because it's your biggest expense. Therefore, if you can't afford one, you keep having to pay rent, and that's very expensive in general anyway. At least when you're paying a mortgage, you're actually trying to pay off the house. You actually have some equity in that house, so you're making your money work for you in some way. It's some form of an investment rather than just throwing money into the fire. And I don't even understand why people need to go on 3, 4, 5 holidays a year. I know everyone's different, and I may be a bit boring because I prefer to go to the gym, prefer to work on my business, film YouTube videos, go to work, make money, focus on my relationships with my friends and loved ones. But that's just me, that's what makes me happy. But if someone likes to go on 5 holidays every single year, there's no reason in my eyes why can't you go to 2 or 3. I feel because so many people are stereotyping this on social media, other people want to do it more and more. So it's this cascaded effect that just keeps on turning. And it's like if you don't go to travel, you're weird. And some people don't like being called that. So they're bound to indirect peer pressure and go on more holidays to try and fit in with the current social norms of traveling 5 times a year, minimum.
Thousands of pounds worth of debt and we still booked to go on holiday as a family of 4. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Danny and I talk all things life and money, and today is day 3 of the £1,000 holiday budget. So a little while ago when I tallied up all of our debt, it came to around £13,000 in total. And we are using 2025 to pay off at least half of that debt. And we're doing this with our regular jobs, overtime, bonuses and side hustles. However, even though we're paying off debt, we still want to have a life. Our children are only young, and the way I see it, we're not going to get this time back with them. And I also don't want to restrict them of memories as well. We do have family that live abroad, and that is where we currently are, visiting family in Spain. So still a little bit of a holiday for us. But I would really love to know your opinions on this. Like, if you're in debt, do you believe in just paying that debt off and doing nothing else? Or do you think it's okay to pay the debt off and still have a life? I mean, we are paying over minimum repayments, so we'll be getting that debt paid off well in advance. And once it's paid, we obviously never want to go back into debt. Hence why we put into savings pots and sinking funds every month. Anyway, today we spent £89.90 in Aldi. And let me tell you now, food shopping over here is so much cheaper than the UK. We were treated by family for our evening meal, and we will of course return the favour at some point during the holiday. So that is now leaving £821.44 left in the pot.
Now this video isn't necessarily too bad. Obviously they're in a lot of debt. However, they actually have a proper plan to solve that. And I agree, especially if you have children and you, for whatever reason, go into debt. The children are only going to be young for a specific period of time, obviously, so you want to make lasting memories with them. And sometimes to get out of debt, you need to wait a few years to do so. But you could still go on 1 holiday a year with your kids. Like, the whole point of this video is not to slate and say vacations are so bad. It's just that these videos that we've seen, my friends, I'm sure you can agree, most of these videos is just the way these people are thinking, the amount of vacations are going to. It's just a bit absurd. If you disagree with me, my friends, that's absolutely fine. Comment down below because I'll be interested to hear your thoughts and what you think of so far in this video. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Money comes and goes, but life is for living. But in order to live life the way we want in terms of going out, we need money. My head says pay it, but my heart says life is short, so memories are forever. We really need to make as many as possible. I don't disagree with the comment from Jody at all, but again, the whole point is to try and avoid debt in the first place, or if you do have a credit card, pay off the credit card or pay off the debt as quickly as humanly possible, and not to allow the debt to snowball into a bigger debt with higher interest payments, which then again cascades onto even more debt. For me, in my own opinion, if I want a good life for my family, I would make sure to not get into debt, or if I was to get into debt, I would actually have a plan for my reasons of getting into debt. Like, some people get into debt to actually buy a house, but then they make it work, and at the end they actually have positive equity, so it does make sense to go into debt for them. But just getting into credit card debt and debt in general for like financing a car, stuff like this, or buying something that's extremely expensive that you don't necessarily need, that is where I disagree with this. I found that if you do nothing but pay off debt, it just defeats the point, as you can't enjoy it. But then equally, my friend, if you pay off the debt fully, you will be financially at peace with your mind, and then you would enjoy life because you would be financially free, because you would be debt free, which allows you to feel financially less stressed, which allows you to feel comfortable and actually enjoy life more. But at least that's how I see it. I could be wrong.
No holidays for 2 years. I think it's a British thing where they need a holiday to look forward to. Like, their whole life. I used to have this friend, right? And her whole life was looking forward to the next holiday. And I will say that's such a bad habit and trap to get into. When your whole happiness is evolved around the next holiday, you're not living for now. On average, you spend £1,000 on a holiday, let's be real, every time you go away. I don't know how many holidays you may go on, you might just go on once a year, but that's still £1,000 you're saving in that year. And also that £1,000 isn't including spending money when you're on holiday. You know, we buy outfits as women anyway, maybe guys do it as well. You buy outfits, you buy bags, you buy sandals, and then you go to the duty-free area, you buy loads of makeup, I do anyway, I buy sunglasses sometimes. It's just an expensive thing to do, and if you are serious about saving money, it's not something you should be doing until you've bought your home. And then you can celebrate, you can be on holiday being like, I just bought a house, I just bought a flat, and I'm on holiday.
I don't think it's just something in the UK, although it's very, very prevalent, but I do think it's in the USA as well. I've seen a lot of TikToks at least with this exact point. They're always looking forward for the next holiday. And again, as this lady says, such a bad habit, because you never ever get to experience and enjoy the actual present moment, be in the moment, enjoy, actually go on less holidays, but be more present in the moment to enjoy it. So then not only are you saving money financially, but you're actually enjoying and being more fulfilled when you're there as well. Because I genuinely feel holiday can become an addiction, like with anything in life. Booking at holiday, I genuinely feel it gives you an actual dopamine hit, pressing that button, booking the flights, etc., stuff like this. And then when you go on the holiday, you don't actually enjoy it that much because people always look forward to the next holiday. Maybe that's why they book multiple holidays in the year. Who knows? I don't know, and I don't care. As I said in the beginning, my friends, I make these videos to help ambitious men learn from financial mistakes like the ones you've just seen, including my own, and to get smarter with their money so they can work towards building long-term wealth. When you're ready to grow further, my friend, that's exactly why I built the ABC community, because winning is easier, better, and way more fun with other men on the same mission as you. If you're even slightly curious, my friend, the link's below to check it out. But more importantly, my friends, drop me a comment and let me know what topics you want me to cover next, or how I can make these videos even better for you. YouTube thinks you'll like one of these videos over here. Pick one, and I'll see you over there, my friends.